Hello dear viewers, my name is Fardi Nouri and I'm a migration consultant in Germany. Today, I would like to explain for you a very important topic about the fact that in which cases you can lose your residence permit in Germany due to the fact that in many cases the migrants and refugees in Germany have lost their residence permits because of their lack of information about this topic, and I have also got some questions from some of you about this topic. I thought I should explain for you this topic today. In fact, because the legal residence of foreign nationals or stateless persons in Germany is subject to certain conditions, various reasons can lead to their residence permit being cancelled or extinguished. In such cases, those affected are generally obliged to leave Germany. And in case those affected are outside Germany, it may create problems for them to return to this country. It is worth mentioning that the revocation and withdrawal procedures of the protection statuses such as asylum or refugee protection, which is carried out by the Federal Office for Migration and Refugees of Germany, is a different process. And for those of you who are interested to know more about the revocation and withdrawal procedures of the protection statuses in Germany, they can watch my videos about this topic in this YouTube channel. Now I would like to explain for you in which cases you lose your residence permit in Germany. In fact, according to Section 51 of the Residence Act of Germany, one can lose his or her residence permit in the following cases. First, expiry of its period of validity. If a residence permit has been issued for a limited period of time, it may expire over time if the conditions for its extension are not met. As a rule, for example, a residence permit is issued for a limited period of time, while a permanent residence permit, as its name implies, is issued indefinitely and therefore it cannot expire due to the passage of time. It is worth mentioning that the electronic residence permit used for the permanent residence permit has a technical validity period of up to 10 years. And after this time, only the electronic residence permit will be renewed, and for this purpose, the requirements for the permanent residence permit are not assessed again. Similarly, if someone has his national passport or has got a passport from Germany, for example, a blue passport in Germany, the period of validity of his electronic residence permit complies with the period of validity of his national passport or the passport he has got from German authorities. In this case, also with the extension of his passport, the electronic residence permit will also be renewed without assessing the requirements for the permanent residence permit of the holder of it again. Second, occurrence of a resolving condition. If a residence permit is provided with a dissolving condition as an additional provision, this residence permit expires as soon as the event referred to as a condition occurs or takes place. The holder of the residence permit is then obliged to leave the country if he doesn't have other reasons for his residence which can justify a residence permit for him, and if he has also not made a corresponding application in good time before the dissolution condition occurs. For example, if a student has got his residence permit for a study purpose in the field of political science in Germany, it is usually written in his residence permit that with the end of study in the field of political science, this residence permit expires. So, in case the holder of this residence permit wants to change his field of study in Germany, or he finishes his study in this field, before changing his field of study or before his study ends, he must extend his residence permit based on a good reason he may have, otherwise he loses his residence permit in Germany. Third, withdrawal of the residence permit. Withdrawal of the residence permit is possible if it has been issued unlawfully, That is, the conditions for granting it were not met from the beginning. This is the case, for example, if the residence permit was obtained on the basis of false information or documents. In such a case, the stay was then also in the past not lawful. I think for today, this much about this topic is enough. In the next video, I'll then explain for you in which other cases you may lose your residence permit in Germany. At the end, I would like to ask you to have a look at my YouTube channel, in which you can find very important information concerning different issues in Germany. I have many playlists about different issues, such as about the asylum process in Germany, studying in Germany, doing a vocational training in Germany, how you can get a Niederlassungserlaubnis or a permanent residence permit in Germany, and how you can apply for it, how you can apply for German citizenship and how you can get it, what are the requirements for it, and so on. I've also made some videos about the family reunification to Germany and what are its requirements. You can also find some videos about the citizens of the European Union and their family members when they come to Germany, how they can get a permanent residence permit in Germany or a residence permit in Germany. You can also find some videos about the fact that if you get a rejection or a Duldung in Germany, how you can stay in Germany, what are the possibilities based on which you can stay in Germany. To sum it up, I can tell you that if you are in Germany or you want to come to Germany, you can find very useful videos in this YouTube channel. For that, you need to have a look at my YouTube channel, at my playlists and videos. I'm sure they will be very useful for you. Thanks a lot for watching my video. If you would like to get similar important information about the immigration laws in Germany, your rights and duties in German society, the living conditions in Germany, and other such important topics, please subscribe and follow our channel. If you have any questions or remarks about today's topic, you can write it under this video and I will be more than happy to answer it for you.